And I agree with everything that's being said as far as the use of AI. The biggest thing is it's not necessarily a plug and play option. It's the same thing when the internet came on the scene. You can do research faster. This allows you to do your job faster, more efficiently. But there is also that human element of going through and reading what is AI generating, making sure that everything is in agreement with not only your procurement rules but also what the vision is of your department, of your city. Making sure that what's coming out of that AI is truly correct is going to be really, really important because, yes, AI can do a fantastic job of crafting something that looks beautiful and most of it's correct. 90% it's going to be correct. That 10%, what may be causing issues, and making sure that you have that human review. But it does make your job a lot faster. Just figuring out how to layer that in into your day to day process is going to be one of the biggest, I guess, changes. I don't want to call it a challenge, but changes that people are going to have to deal with. What can AI take off my plate? What do I need to review to make sure this is correct?
Right. I don't
Hey, we
disagree
have
with that.
questions
We
in the
do,
chat
we
box.
do.
I'm so sorry.
I want to get my thought out really quick, based on what Dave just said, because Brian Turbot is in the chat box, and I want to make sure I get all of his questions from the town of Nantucket. Hey, Mr. Turbot. No, really quick. I don't disagree with you, Dave. It's all about that executive alignment. We've talked and talked and talked about this visioning. What do you see for your organization in the next 3 to 5 years, right? But as an attendee, you attend these conferences and these trade shows, and you go into the vendor hall, and there's AI over here, and there's ERP over here, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have all these things on my plate and things that I want to do within my organization. Where do I start and how do I approach this vendor hall, right? There's this new AI going on. There's, Oracle over here, Workday over here. What do I do? And what are your all's thoughts?
No, you'd absolutely hit the nail on the head. I would say that the vendor hall can be a little bit of an information overload. You go to one booth, you see something new and fancy, then you go to another booth and it's something completely different. Now you're thinking about it from this aspect. I would definitely say due diligence is not something that should be taken lightly, especially going to those vendor halls because you're going to go to Oracle, you're going to go to an SAP or whatever vendor is going to be out there, and they're going to have a conversation and show you their newest product. Making sure that fits for you is going to be very, very important because it can look extraordinarily impressive on the screen, what they have there for the vendor hall for a generic demonstration or showing their platform, making sure that you're going through and make sure it's the correct fit for you. I would say that's one of my biggest things. What are your thoughts on it, Adrian?
I think it goes back to having a comprehensive strategy for technology, right? Again, this is it's not different from any other new product, but it's different in the sense that it's going to upend your operations like nothing else if done right. And by upend, I mean improve and make more efficient, so you can do more with less, do things quicker. And how do you fit that within a government organization? Like, where do you begin, right? There are some easy entry points, like customer service, like chatbots on your website. But then what, right? Those are the base level applications of this great technology that again can be revolutionary, right? You're heading towards autonomous governments if you really embrace this. And I nerd out on blockchain and all of this. What's government going to do when all of this comes together? It's just going to work for us, right? But it's not going to get there for a long time, and maybe never, because we need people with hearts and emotions running organizations like that. So having an IT strategy, a technology strategy, I'm not even going to call it IT because a lot of times it gets confusing. What's IT? What's digital? What is what is our enterprise software stack? So having an enterprise-wide technology, digital transformation strategy, call it what you may, is extremely important. So you know where to insert these technologies, where to begin. Um, and that's how you go from there, because you have to be very vigilant about changes. Every day a new LLM comes out, every day it's getting improved, every day you sign into a new LLM, there's new features, and it's again, it's the Wild West, and they're trying to beat each other to become the dominant force in this world. So if you are a developer building on top of a particular LLM stack and you're tied in, you may be at a disadvantage when Google next month, for example, beats everybody else and comes up with something greater. So everyone is on their toes, should be, and that includes our clients.
Thank you.
I think this is the question from the sheriff. I'm sorry, from
Yep, go ahead. Go ahead.
Brian from Nantucket. Brian is the CFO at the town of Nantucket. Do you see AI as having the ability to lessen the burden on those in municipal government finance department with compliance? As an example, the upcoming Financial Data Transparency Act. Yeah, and there was a session at GFOA about the FDTA, and we posted some things. Essentially, what that is how do you digitize your data and your reports so that it is machine readable. There's a deadline, 2027, that you need to get this done by, and that is a great opportunity for you to start modernizing your operations. And by machine readable, yes, AI can read scanned in documents, but you have to make sure that that is truly the case and that your documents are indeed machine readable so that they can be ingested by other reporting platforms and you can make it available to the public. That's the whole gist of it. It's a Transparency Act, and you cannot have transparency if government has paper records that everything is on scanned documents that machines can't read. So it's a way to modernize government. So the question is AI going to have the ability? Yeah, absolutely, because at the end of the day, you're going to put it into some machine that will read your documents, and you may have products that already do this, right? Like OpenGov or some other data transparency portals that are already capable of reading digital documents and presenting them to the public. Now you're going to take that a level further by giving whatever AI reporting platform you use access to your other systems so they can also be included in the reporting. Right now, I think it's just budgeting systems, but then you will need to be transparent and offer data up for all of your different solutions. I hope that answered your question, Brian. The quick answer is yes, it will. Got anything to add, guys?
Kind of stole a little bit of my points. I mean, you definitely call that a good
No, I
idea as
didn't.
far as
Okay.
Well, don't call me out like that. You call that a good point as far as, this is the opportunity to modernize. This is where it's going to be really, really important because you're going to be having these acts coming up and making sure that you can hit those deadlines. This is a great way to push you into that modernization path, just making sure that we go about it carefully, plan strategically. You can set yourself up for success.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't think that this is a time for any of our public sector organizations to be sitting on the sidelines. And what I mean by that is, now's the time to be doing your research and understanding what's out there and what AI can do for you. What are the pros? What are the cons? And if you don't know where to begin, please contact us. Just a small commercial. We will help you with those things, but you can't just sit on the sidelines and wait for something to come to you. So that's my thought. I think Elsie has a good question, and we've talked a little bit about the human element when it comes to AI. So she says, as AI capabilities become more advanced, do you see more of the human review becoming obsolete, or do you think it will always be a part of the process?
I think at least in the immediate future, and by immediate future, I would say probably within the next 5 years, that this will still be a part of the process. And the reason for that is the documents are going to be coming out from your organization. They're still going to have your organization on them. You're still going to be responsible for those documents. So if something comes out that's incorrect or does not align with organization strategies, we can't really exactly say, well, that's the AI's fault. We'll reprimand the AI. There's still going to be human responsibilities with this. So as far as looking at from that aspect, I think there will always be human review because you have to make sure the content that's coming out aligns with everything. Like I said earlier, we can't just blame the AI and say, oh, well, yeah, we got that contract wrong, but that's the AI's fault. There's still going to be human responsibility with that.
Yeah, human in the loop is key. I mean, at some point, maybe you won't need it because it'll be so advanced, but not in the near future, I don't think. Even if it has the capabilities, we need to look out for ourselves. Like I'm not going to be alarmist, but it's us against a robot at some point. So how do you control that? And the alarmists are worried about that, right? If you don't control it, it's going to take over the world. But human in the loop, human centric services are key. Like, look, when we go to a conference like GFOA, people want to make connections. People want to make relationships. People want to build lifelong friendships. And that's who people do business with.